welcome Jasleen Bedi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jasleen, and today I would like to speak about words have power. Words are powerful and they shape how we think, how we feel, and what we become. But words alone would not give us that power. What would give us the actions that echo them? And once you have words with actions that match them, you would truly become unstoppable. But let's step back a little and see why are words so powerful. Because they don't just describe our world, they define it. And I'm a firm believer that when right words are said at the right time in front of the right audience, magic happens. The words we speak to others and to ourselves become a blueprint for what we believe, what we can be, do, and deserve. And I'm a firm believer that when right words are said at the right time in front of the right people, magic does happen. And I've seen it firsthand. My very first internship was because of that. I was at a casual dinner and I just spoke about my interests and aspirations with powerful words, and guests at that place heard me and then offered me an opportunity to work for their company in Oregon. And that's when I realized that words do make an impact if you're using it in front of the right audience at the right time in front of the right people. And that one word opened doors to so many other opportunities. One such opportunity was that one internship took me to another internship. Then there was a scholarship involved, and I was getting hands on experience, but I was also invited to be a part of a 9-week collaboration program in Oregon itself. And I was one of the top 4 interns, and I was the only international student in it. So that's when I realized that words do have an impact, but words alone would not take you that far. Words that you speak to others and speak to yourself, even on platforms like LinkedIn, are very, very powerful because that's how I got my current role at Discover. My then manager reached out to me on LinkedIn, and it was a normal, impactful chat where he asked me if I'm interested in the position, in the opportunity, and I absolutely jumped at that without thinking twice. And the reason it landed to that opportunity was because I had a very good link with all the verbiage, the storytelling, and I also reached out to my former colleagues asking if they would be interested in vouching for my work, if they would be interested in letting the world know how good I was for them. And they were kind enough to agree. And their kind and impactful words, including mine, is what landed my role at Discover. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity. And having said that, words on platforms like LinkedIn do matter. So make sure that we are deliberately describing ourselves for better visibility. And then words that we speak to others. Words are not just for others to see us, they are also how we think about ourselves, how we describe ourselves. You need to make sure that the inner critical voice that we have, that is also that also sees us the way we want the world to see. If we don't want the world to be critical of our actions, if we don't want to treat setbacks as dead ends, we need to make sure that we are also treating ourselves the same. So be kind. And when I say this, I've seen it firsthand. During COVID, I was laid off. My American dream came to an end. I almost gave up. But that's when I realized that I'm too disappointed. The inner voice kept saying, I started questioning everything inside, my skills, my future, my American dream coming to an end. I almost gave up. And that's when a friend of mine told me that only I can crawl out of the situation. And so I challenged my inner voice that I replaced self doubt with actions. And the action included rigorous job applications, reaching out to people on LinkedIn, being intentional, being bold, and upskilling myself with new technologies. And when I finally replaced that self doubt with actions, discover happen. And that's when I realized that words, when backed up with powerful actions, can actually make dreams come true. Because discover is certainly a dream role, and it's my ticket to staying here a little longer. So I'm grateful for that and always asked for support because that's what I did. But this part of my story that shaped everything was because of a very personal loss. I lost my only sibling in 2011, and I was my world shattered that night. I engulfed in so much of pain, agony, sympathy, and anger towards the world. And that's when I realized that I should I started speaking to myself in a positive tone. Instead of so much of pain, I told myself that I will live that American dream. I promised myself that I will get that master's degree from United States. Even if that promise came from deep pain, it rooted in purpose. And that's what matters the most because I started, even if it just started with words, I started uh, manipulating my mind in a way where I started working towards the goal, the promise, the dream spoken aloud that yes, I am worthy of it and I can do it too. That's when my American dream has started, and that's how I was able to make it a reality. Since I have lived this, I realize one thing, and I would like to tell it to everyone who's listening to me that your words matter. Use them wisely, be bold, have actions supporting them, and use platforms like LinkedIn that are not just for job hunting but for storytelling as well. I have managed to use it and landed my current role, and I also encourage everyone share your story, your wins, your setbacks, your growth, your overcomings, your upskilling, everything on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is one powerful tool, if used correctly, would help us again and again. I've seen it firsthand. So, finally, I would love to say with this that if I can do it, so can you. Because this is that one person 11 years ago. Nobody trusted me, like coming all the way from India. My own family was like, you're the only child, you cannot survive that country. But if I can do it, so can you. You just have to use the right words at the right time in front of the right people and back that up with bold actions. Follow that with a purpose. Thank you so much.